Hey student, watch this video and learn about 2 listening exercises that you should do so that you can better understand native or non-native speakers in English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Well, it is Monday, new video here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating. Yes, if it's your first time here, consider subscribing because from Monday to Friday, I have different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker, so subscribe. Become part of this beautiful community of English learners. Now, my friends, let's dive into the content. Today, we're going to talk about 2 listening exercises that will help you better understand native speakers, okay? I'm always trying to bring you different strategies, different ideas, different exercises, because I know that the more you work on your English skills, the easier it gets to achieve the results you want. Okay, so it's not just about passively listening to things in English, but about doing the necessary work, the necessary exercises to help you get there. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you 2 good exercises that you should be doing, 2 kinds of practices that you should be including in your study routine that will help you achieve results. Okay, so why learn these exercises? Guys, if you have problems understanding native or no-native speakers in English, here's what I'm going to tell you. You can keep watching videos in English, you can keep listening to podcasts, you can keep listening to movies or watching the news, but without the right kind of practice, you will still have problems understanding them. You will stay in the same loop if you don't develop interesting and useful strategies, okay? And many times the students confuse active listening and passive listening. So listening while you are driving to work or, on the way to school or while you are eating lunch or cooking dinner, these are not really practice moment, okay? And what I'm going to show you here, the 2 exercises I'm going to show you here will require your focus, your attention, okay? And as I always like to say, it's not about how much you listen, but it's all about the consistent work you do when listening to things in English. So the suggestions I'm going to give you, they are short. Of course, and when I mean short, I'm not talking about lazy work, okay? Oh, so I listen twice and that's enough for me. I listen to 20 seconds and that's it. That's all good. Got it. No, that's not how it works. What I'm trying to say is, with the right strategies, you will be able to repeat the exercise more consciously, knowing what you have to do. And that's my goal here. And these 2 practices will help you better understand native speakers in English, will help you better understand people in movies, the people you listen to in podcasts. So if you persist and if you become consistent with the exercise I'm going to recommend, you're going to get there, okay? I've seen many cases like that one of people achieving these results, okay? Now, these exercises are not passive work. So what does that mean? I will repeat it again because I think it's important. There are new people here on the channel that may not know that. So passive work means you don't do anything about it. You hit play, boom, and you listen. Maybe you are eating some snacks. Maybe you are eating lunch or cooking or doing the dishes or doing the laundry, or you are walking around the house, or you are at the mall, walking around the mall and you are listening to something in English. Maybe you're running at the park and you get to listen to something. That is passive work, okay? What I'm going to show you here is active work. It's the kind of work that, okay, I need to grab a notebook, a pencil, eraser. Let's get down to business. You will need to sit down and stop. It's practice moment. You will need to focus all your attention and energy to those exercises. That's why I like to recommend, let me put this away. That's why I like to recommend short activities, because I know you're busy. I know you have a life. I know you have other things to do. Of course, as I said, not lazy work. There's got to be some repetition, okay? And I'm going to talk about that, okay? Now, the exercise I'm going to tell you about, they do not require a lot of time. So if you have 30 minutes a day for listening practice, that's good, okay? We can work with that. Now, teacher, I have 5 minutes. You can still do the practice I'm going to recommend, but you will see that you will need more time, okay? So that's why I always like to say, okay, if you have 30 minutes a day, something we can do. If you have 1 hour a week, that's awesome. We can work with that, but I have 5 minutes every day. Then that's when things get a little complicated, okay? So use a little common sense, because that will help you understand what is a lot of time and what is not a lot of time, okay? Analyze your schedule and you will get to that number better than I can, okay? Now, these exercises will not miraculously change your listening skills, okay? And when I say miraculously, maybe you will try the first time and you will feel a little lost, you will feel a little confused, and nothing is going to happen. Then you try it again and you still feel a little lost, but now you know what you have to do. Then you do it again, and then you do it again. After a week trying and working, you feel like, nothing changed. I did this exercise for a week. I can't believe it. Teacher Prix lied to me. No, I didn't lie. It's just that it's not a miraculous work, okay? It will require time. Habits take time to be developed, okay? And for you to feel the results, you will need a little bit more time. It's just as if I need to lose weight and I go to the gym and I expect on the third day to be with an amazing body. Well, that's not going to happen. You will need a little bit more time to feel the results, to see changes, but you need to be consistent, okay? Now, these exercises should be done with short audio materials. If you choose a 30-minute podcast, you will get lost, okay? So do not use long audios to do the practices I'm going to recommend. Can I do this with movies? Movies are long, so it may not be the kind of practice for you to use with movies, okay? And finally, these exercises should be repeated several times, okay? I know you guys are busy, you have things to do, but because the audios are short, you will be able to repeat them more times and consistently, because as I said, you will need to do this more times throughout the week, okay? That is very important. In my online English program, the Real English Academy, my babies, they have one listening practice for the week. But they have different exercises they can do. They have a comprehension exercise, then they have shadowing exercise, and they have other things they can do so that they don't need to spend a long time doing their listening practice, but at the same time, they are able to repeat their listening practice consistently. That's what I'm going to show you, a little bit of what I'm going to show you today, okay? Now, exercise number 1. It's actually one of my favorite exercises. There are different purposes in this exercise, but it's a good one, okay? Which is shadowing. Shadowing is a technique where you repeat what the speaker is saying. With this practice, you don't learn theory, okay, behind pronunciation and intonation. You are not learning pronunciation techniques. You are not learning phonetics, but you are learning in practice. You are teaching your brain, you are showing your brain and gradually teaching your brain to recognize, to pick patterns, pronunciation and intonation patterns. By following the transcript, that's why you need to do something short and preferably with a transcript, okay? Because you will follow the transcript, and as you follow, you are able to teach your brain the pronunciation patterns, the pronunciation patterns in spoken language, and recognize the words in conversations. Sometimes you may know those words, but when you listen to them, you don't recognize them. And why? Probably because there is a pronunciation pattern that you are not familiar with. So when you consistently practice shadowing, you begin to recognize those patterns. So maybe a word that you know, but in the past, every time you listen to that word you didn't understand, it's probably because of a pronunciation pattern. There are many pronunciation rules and intonation rules and abbreviations, and native speakers do that naturally. As you listen to them consciously, following a short audio with a transcript, it is easier for you to follow along, to read along. And with that practice, with the repetition of that practice, you begin to recognize the patterns that I'm talking about. You may be able to repeat. It's interesting because I've had some students who live abroad, and sometimes they listen to some questions and they come to me, they say the questions a little incorrectly. And I say, look, you are doing like a real-time shadowing, because you listen to them and then you try to repeat what they say. And sometimes you don't say some words because they said those words a little bit faster, or they abbreviate the word. So if you have the transcript, it's easier for you to see, oh, they say this word this way. Oh, they shorten, they abbreviate the word. Oh, they don't say the last letter. Oh, that's why I wasn't being able to understand that word. And with this practice, with the repetition of this practice, you will gradually improve your comprehension, pronunciation, intonation. There are so many benefits of doing a shadowing exercise, okay? Now, can you do the shadowing exercise with any audio material? No, especially if they're long. If they're long, you are going to feel a little frustrated because it's going to be difficult for you to keep going, to keep doing this practice, okay? So perhaps if you really like movies, you can choose like a 1 minute part of that movie, and you do that part, okay? Maybe there's a podcast you like and you can choose the first 2 minutes and you can do a shadowing practice there with those 2 minutes, but never the entire thing. It gets very tiring, okay? And your brain cannot focus. It's too much information. It's difficult to keep going. Because the idea here, and I'm going to show you a little practice, is as the person speaks, you speak back, you repeat it back. So imagine in a movie that is usually long and there's a lot of information that is going to, that is going to make you feel a little lost, okay? So be careful with that. But if there's a movie you really like, choose a short scene, like a 2 minute, 1 minute scene, and work on that part for shadowing purposes, okay? And hey, if you are enjoying this lesson, make sure to hit the like button. When you like, it helps the channel, it helps YouTube understand that this is a good video, that this is a good lesson. And if possible, subscribe, because I know there are many people who come here, watch my lessons, and are not subscribed, Thanks, Denise. Yes, we need to celebrate. I reached 150, I think like yesterday or the day before. And I'm planning a live video to come here. It's just that with the new babies, the new group, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this now. But probably next week there will be a video here to celebrate 150,000 people from all over the world. So that is really, really cool. I'm very happy about that. So I'm gonna come here and celebrate. And you can already subscribe, because 150,000, let's see, who knows, maybe we can reach 200,000 subscribers this year? The bigger the better, bigger family, more students, that's all I can ask for, okay? Now, guys, I'm going to show you a short practice, okay? Here it'll be a little difficult for me to do it while you listen, okay? So I'm going to play a short audio. It's like a 12-second audio. It's really short, okay? While you listen, you can see the script here on the screen. That's why I say this is a short practice. Now here, for the purpose of time, I am bringing 10 seconds. But of course, guys, I don't mean short like that, very short. I mean 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's good, okay? But here it's just to show you. And pay attention to these words in pink, purplish. Pay attention and look at the intonation and how it changes, okay? So I'm gonna play the audio. Look at the screen right now and try to read along. Speak up. I don't know if you are in your car, on the bus, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, but let's go. You do this, okay? I will mute my microphone now and you can go.
I was thinking I was getting some extra time with them. I would set up upstairs. It would be great. A few days I would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I would feel like I couldn't even deal.
Awesome. So you saw it was very short, okay? I cannot hear it because I'm playing for you guys, I cannot listen to it. But here in this very short practice, you can see a lot of changes in her voice, okay? She really expresses herself. She's talking in this video. The complete video is a little longer. I not longer, but I didn't want to spend all the time here showing you the complete video. But she is talking about working from home and with everything that started in the world last year. You know, I cannot say the name of the things that were happening last year, but with the situation that happened all over the world last year, many people had to work from home. And then this woman is sharing her experience. And then she says, I was thinking I was getting some extra time with them. I would set up upstairs. It would be great. A few days I would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I'd feel like I couldn't even deal. Now, I'm not listening to her, so it's difficult for me to remember exactly all the intonation she had. But if I were listening and speaking at the same time, let's see if I can play this from my computer, and then I can try to do it, because it's really try, guys. I'm not perfect either. I always try to do a good job, but I don't always do it because it's practice. So let's see. I was some time with them. I would set up upstairs. It would be great. A few days I would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I would feel like I couldn't even deal. Okay? So that's basically what to do. That's why you need the transcript, okay? That's why it is important for you to have a transcript to do this kind of practice. And let me tell you, if you do this consistently, you will see sometimes it'll be difficult to read at the same speed. It's okay. But try to get some nuances of the way the speaker is speaking, and that is going to help you, okay? That's why here it is very short. It's just an example, okay? It's really, really short, but try to use like perhaps a 3-minute audio for you to do this practice, okay? And focus on the words that rise. And maybe you can get like a color pen. You know, I'm all pink today. Pink nails, pink marker, pink slide. I'm a Barbie. So maybe in your transcript, while you are listening, you can set some directions, you know, some arrows up when it's going up, if it's going down, or if it's neutral, you feel like she's not going up, she's not going down. To help you remember, okay? And this is going to help you pay attention to the things that happen in conversations, because native speakers will abbreviate words, they will shorten things, they will get too excited. I would get some extra time with them. I would set up upstairs, and a few days I would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I would feel like I couldn't even deal. So by listening and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, you will be able to understand it more easily. Oh, but teacher, I will understand this audio. Well, that's why it's practice, because native speakers are native speakers. Some of them may be a little bit more difficult, they may speak a little faster, but at the end of the day, all of these things they learned the same way. So it's not that they speak the same way, but they know the same rules, even if unconsciously, because just being a native speaker doesn't mean you know grammar rules, pronunciation rules. You don't know all of that. I don't know my language rules, but I know them unconsciously, because since I was a child, I learned my native language. So you will see that as you keep doing this practice weekly, every day if possible, you will improve. So if you do this for a 3-minute audio and you repeat it 10 times, you got a 30-minute of a very productive practice, okay? Believe me, I love doing this practice. It is very, very productive, okay? Now, guys, how long should this practice be? As I said, because you're going to be repeating this exercise several times and pausing, getting the hang of it. What is to get the hang of it? Get used to it. Adapt, okay? So to get the hang, to adapt. It's new. Maybe you do it a little, but you need to get the hang of it. You need to adapt to this new practice. I would recommend 1 to 3 minute audios, okay? That will keep you busy, because you see, you will pause. You have problems. You'll be like, oh my God, she's speaking too fast. Let me pause, let me read, and then go back. Okay, so 1 to 3 minute audios. Now, they speak too fast. That's a possibility. They will speak fast. Now here what I'm going to recommend is before you start shadowing, you have the transcript, you have the video. Before you get started with the repetition, read it by yourself. Become familiar with the words. Okay, I was thinking I was getting some extra time with them, and you can read normally. I would set up upstairs. It would be great. A few days I would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I would feel like I couldn't even deal. I couldn't even deal. And you can. You slowly say the words. Then you read a second time and you do it a little faster. I was thinking I was getting some extra time with them. I would set up upstairs. It would be great. A few days it would be fine and working fine and everything would be fine. And then like a Friday, I would feel like I couldn't even deal. And then you go faster. I was thinking to your limits, okay? But you understand the idea. Slow, slow, faster, faster, faster. When you feel like, okay, I'm familiar with this short text. Maybe you can do this for the first 1 minute. You read, you see words you don't know, then you start listening and repeating, okay? And until you get used to this activity, until you get the hang of it, you will need time, okay? You will stop, you will need to pause, you will need to go back, you will need to start again. But believe me when I say this, if you stay consistent with this practice, you are going to improve. Inside my academy, I tell my babies to do this every week with the modules. They have 24 modules, so 24 weeks. I tell them, you do shadowing, my friend. With every audio, with every module inside the academy, you do the shadowing, you practice, you have the transcript, you have the audio, so you gotta keep doing it because it is going to help you, okay? And it's going to help you sound more like a native speaker. I know we are not native speakers, but it'll help you sound more like one, okay? Now, exercise 2, general and detailed notes. Taking notes, okay, to write down. And you can use the same audio you did for shadowing, okay? Now, what is this kind of exercise? This is a problem that many English learners have. When they're listening to an audio, they don't know how to prioritize information. Some students get lost. They start listening and they don't know, oh my God, what should I focus on? She's talking about bananas, but now she changed it to apples. And now she's talking about microphones. I don't know. So here, we need to divide your listening practice, when the moment you're listening, into 2 different moments, general and detail. So when you sit down to listen to a short audio, focus on the general idea. What is the general? You don't need to understand all the words. If you focus on understanding all the words, you're going to get stuck. You're going to be frustrated because that's not going to happen. So focus on general ideas. And while you do that, you are going to grab a pencil or a pen and you are going to write down key words, words that are important, words that are necessary to help you remember the information, okay? You finished? Well, look at your notes. What can you write an explanation? Do you remember something to help you write a short phrase describing what you read? Describing what you listened to? Listen again. Focus on general idea. Repeat it one more time. After that, start focusing on details, more specific information that you probably didn't pay attention to. And listen again and focus again. This practice will help you improve your listening comprehension. And you will be able, not just that, but when you are in a conversation, it'll be easier for you to filter information. What is more general? What's more specific? Okay? And the best way to master that is by doing this listening practice consistently every week. This is the only way for you to get good at that, okay? Listening, but practicing. Just listening on the way to the park while you're running or while exercising, that is not going to help you with that. And even when we're watching a movie and we think, oh, I can understand everything, that is a different focus. That's a different goal. It's entertainment. I love movies and I intend to bring some movie exercises and things for you guys, but we have to be very careful. Here I'm talking about efficiency, being efficient with the time you have and working on exercises that will help you better understand native or non-native speakers in English. So make sure you do that, okay? Now, yes, as I said, general and detail, because I prepared these slides, but then I forget what I say them. I forget what I say in them, you know? So it is important to understand general and specific. And when you write things down, it is easier for you to see and separate what is general, what is just explaining the main ideas, and what is more specific. Now, if you do this, as I said, it'll help your brain assimilate information faster. And it'll also help you work on different skills. You will be writing, and by taking notes, you are also working on your physical memory. So you are giving a different kind of stimulation to your brain. So when I say that this is a good practice, I mean it, because it works on different aspects of the language. And that's all we want at the end of the day. Be productive, be efficient, and maximize our skills, okay? Now, guys, how do you do this exactly? I didn't prepare a practice for this, but maybe in the future I can bring something like that. When listening to an audio once, focus on general ideas and write them down. Listen to the audio a few times more and take notes. When you finish for the first time, check your notes, okay? See what you remember and use your notes to help you remember a little bit more. Now, this is not a dictation exercise. It's note-taking. So it's not about writing everything down, but ideas. If you try to do that, you will be frustrated. When you finish this first time, repeat the process again. After doing this like twice, 3 times, then change the focus to detail. What exactly can I understand? What is specific information am I learning in this audio? That's how you do it, okay? Now, my friends, I could come here and tell you many more things that you can do, but I will stay here, I'll stop here. If you enjoyed this lesson, the only thing I ask you guys is to share this lesson with your friends, subscribe to my channel because it helps the community grow, and that makes me know that you enjoyed the lesson, you enjoyed the content, and if you want my free ebook and receive other contents by email and Telegram, check my description, there's the link there, you can check it all out. Other than that, thank you so much,